Okay, I'm going to show you a stretchy bind off that I just did on this lace piece. It's not good for somewhere where you just need a little bit of stretch, like on the edge of a hat, because it would be too loose and sloppy. But for something like lace where it's really going to get blocked, this is great because it won't give any resistance. I'm going to start like normal. I'm going to knit the first stitch. Now before I knit the next stitch, I'm going to do a yarn over, then we'll knit one. And then, like most bind offs, we'll go back to the previous stitch knit. So that's the first loop on there. We're going to pass it over both the yarn over and the stitch we just knit. Then we're going to do a yarn over, knit the next stitch. And now we're going to go back to the previous stitch knit, which will be the second loop back, right? That's the stitch you just knit, the yarn over, and then the previous stitch knit. We'll pull that over, both the yarn over and the last stitch knit. Again, we'll do a yarn over, knit one, go back to the previously knit stitch, not the yarn overs. And you can see we're just leaving those yarn overs on the needle for now. They'll come off later, but if you do it too soon, then the working yarn kind of pulls that length out of there, and you did it for nothing because the yarn overs just kind of get pulled out. Essentially what this does is it makes your bind off have stitches that are twice as long as if you just did the regular bind off. And the added advantage instead, I mean, you could just bind off and pull a really long stitch each time like that, but it's really hard to get them even all across the row, and it's really hard to judge just how long they should be. And so if you do it this way with the yarn over, then the length is determined by the needle, and it'll be even. Every stitch will be the same. And I'm just going to do one or two more to show you, because I can pull some of those previous yarn overs. As long as I keep the last one on the needle, I can continue with this later. So I'm just going to slip, just to show you how it looks, I'm going to slip that last stitch and the yarn over that I last did onto the left needle, just to hold them there. I'm going to pull out the right needle. You can see all those yarn overs kind of standing up there, but if you give a little tug, they even out with the stitches. The length kind of gets distributed. Oh, that last loop is a little stubborn, but you can see the extra large stitches now of the bind off row, and that's gonna really give you the room you need when you're blocking the lace for that cast off edge or the bind off edge, not to constrict or pull on that edge. And I can show you on the other end, I've got the whole row done, and you can see again the larger stitches, much larger than a normal bind off would be. But as I block this, I'll show you the right side so it looks a little better. It'll get pulled out quite aggressively this way, and you don't want this edge to be pulling in on that. So I think that'll work out fine. And that's a different kind of bind off you can try when you need a lot of stretch or extra room on the bind off.